President Trump is off to Asia on one of the longest trips of his presidency so far. But before turning his focus to foreign affairs, the president had a few things to say on some domestic matters today. Correspondent Kristen Fisher is at the White House tonight with a look at what was on the president's mind. Good evening, Kristen.
Well, Brett, just moments before leaving the White House this morning, President Trump made a surprise announcement that he'd be extending his trip by one day to attend a summit in the Philippines and making an already long trip even longer. President Trump leaving Washington for what will be the longest trip to Asia by any president in a quarter century. For the next 13 days, President Trump will be pushing China to trade more fairly with the United States and stop militarizing the South China Sea. But his number one focus is North Korea, and he'll be leaning on the leaders of Japan, South Korea, Vietnam, the Philippines, and most importantly, China, to put more pressure on Pyongyang.
We'll be enlisting the help of a lot of people and countries. We'll see what happens, but I think we're going to have a very successful trip.
He's leaving behind tax reform, something he hopes Republicans on Capitol Hill can deliver just 1 week after he returns. He's also leaving behind the growing cloud of the special counsel's investigation, which continued to seep its way into the West Wing this week. For the first time today, President Trump addressed former campaign associate George Papadopoulos' claim that he'd offered to arrange a meeting between then-candidate Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin back in March of 2016.
I don't remember much about that meeting. It was a very unimportant meeting, took place for a long time. Don't remember much about it.
But one issue he almost took with him was his pressuring of the Justice Department and the FBI to investigate his former political opponent, Hillary Clinton, her emails, and her campaign's funding of that now infamous Russian dossier. He tweeted about it 8 times today before taking off, saying at some point the Justice Department and the FBI must do what is right and proper.
The saddest thing is that because I'm the President of the United States, I am not supposed to be involved with the Justice Department. I'm not supposed to be involved with the FBI. I'm not supposed to be doing the kind of things that I would love to be doing, and I'm very frustrated by it.
Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein responded by saying, "We can't allow ourselves to become numb to the president calling on independent law enforcement to investigate his political opponents." Now, in addition to his frustrations with the Justice Department, President Trump's also been very critical of the State Department. He slashed its budget, refused to fill vacancies, and undercut its secretary for trying diplomacy with North Korea. But the president says none of that matters because, in the end, the world knows that the buck stops with him.
The one that matters is me. I'm the only one that matters because when it comes to it, that's what the policy is going to be.
And Republican Senator Bob Corker is now weighing in on the president's pressuring of the FBI and the Justice Department. He calls it, quote, totally inappropriate, and says that not only does it undermine our justice system, but erode the American people's confidence in our institutions. Brett?
Kristen Fisher live on the North Lawn. Kristen, thank you.